Welcome everybody to this week's developer update. I'm here with QX, discussing the latest and greatest in the Ergo ecosystem. So QX, how are you doing this week?
I'm hanging in there. I took a nap before this, so I'm geared up and ready to go. Nice and charged up.
Yeah, we tend to do this late. Actually, it used to be way worse when I do this with CW. So it's
Oh, that's
actually
right. It's got to be what, noon his? No, what time is it his time? 11 or something his time right
a
now.
lot, a lot of the times I'd finish these at like 2 a.m. my time. And then
It's your it's
you
your
need to get
turn not
ready.
to be rugged for a while, Joe. You get to take a
That's
little
great.
break while CW takes a break.
So what's new in the ecosystem? We had the six vote on the Twitter handle. So you want to take us through what that was about?
Oh yeah, I'd love to. So SIGs have a voting mechanism that's on chain. It's kind of centralized, but kind of on chain. So essentially, SIGs make a token and they register it with myself and my site and my backend database. And then when a vote is proposed, the vote automatically creates three wallets, a yes, no, and an abstain. And the idea is you send your vote token to one of those wallets that you agree on, that is the vote that reflects your choice. And the system keeps on monitoring that and tallies it up and shows you result. After X amount of days, it shuts it off, sends a message to Discord letting everybody know the vote passed or failed, and it's archived forever like that. So we have a nifty little system that we're using to limp on until Paideia, soon. When Paideia? When Paideia? Got Paideia? We
Let's
gotta make
see.
shirts. Got
So the
Paideia.
real question is how do you get voting tokens, right?
So how do you get voting tokens? You become a Sigmanon. So you start off as a SigCan, which anybody can do, and then you show that you would like to be involved in the ecosystem. You want to take it further and be a voting Sigmanaut, and you either find a Sigmanaut and say, hey, I'd like you to sponsor me to become a Sigmanaut and put up a vote, or a Sigmanaut notices you and says, hey, I want to put you up for a vote. So once that's done, you can register your token, send it to me, and you have full voting rights. So that's what we did. So the conundrum was somebody, I won't dox anybody here tonight, but somebody put a chain of events in motion that caused the Ergo platform handle to not have a home, a nice little cozy home. So it was kind of sitting out there in the cold, all scared and frightened. So the community came together, and some people said, "Hey, fuck the Sigma knots. Let's put the Ergo platform handle on that 60K account, the original one, because that's where it belongs. Sigs can make their own account." Some people said, "Oh, let's keep a Sigma knots account as it is. EF already have their own Twitter handle, and Ergo platform can start fresh or die or whatever like that." So tried to capture all those things in one bunch and made a vote with four options and put it up there. And the idea was, since our voting system is a yes or no vote, the idea was, if you like choice one, send one token. If you like choice two, send two tokens to the yes wallet, kind of thing. Thankfully, we
Mhm.
had no votes, because a no vote will hold up the entire thing, and we'll have to go into kind of a roundtable discussion. It automatically cancels it. But we chose vote number two, which means that the Ergo platform handle comes over to the 60K account, just like it used to be, and the Sigmanauts Twitter handle makes its own fresh account, and we have kind of a shared voice with the community. So that means Sigmanauts have access to the account to post a member of the EF or a couple of members of the EF. Probably not a specific member of the EF won't have access, but all other members of the EF will have access to that Twitter account, and and free to tweet and spread the message of Ergo and go from there. And you probably saw it already. It's been there for about a day and a half now of the mixed access with the handle move, where you'll see some more formal tweets where we announce ErgoHack or the dev update and that kind of thing, or the AMA, and then you'll see other more tweets that are quote tweets where we're talking about something or being a little more personable and having more of a personality behind the kind of thing. So that's hopefully what we can do nicely, kind of have those both kind of dualities there coming out of the community count. And we'll go from there. We're still trying to kind of decide what to do. We have a meeting on Sunday, of course, that'll probably be the only topic that we're talking about of how to manage that, how to safeguard the account. There's still about 10 hours before I can really do anything with the account, because whenever you change a handle, it locks you out for about 48 hours from making any serious changes. So the idea is we're going to reset the password and hit the log out everybody button, and then we'll start fresh, and that will start recording who we know has access and document that. Otherwise, we have really no idea who has access to it right now. So
No, I get it. I get it. I had account access for like 2 hours, and yeah, I guess I'm on the shit list for life. But I took my shot. I'll take it.
you definitely put something in motion, Joe, and I think what you did had positive changes. At least it seems across the ecosystem. And there have been a couple questions about the past, but I can't answer questions about the past simply because I wasn't in control of the keys. I can just offer my opinion. So anybody wants to ask me a question about that, I can just answer what we're doing moving forward. So best I can do.
Yeah. All right, let's hop into the weekly developer update. See what's happening in the Discord development channel.
You want to start it off with greenhat?
Sure. Start off with greenhat. His progress. Release Sigma Rest version 0.25.0. Finished and merged script reduced to false error with a pretty printed ergo tree evaluated variables accumulated during the tree expression evaluation. And so he's dropped the new version and the update.
All right, we've got morphic. His progress with Sigma. 2 PRs towards Sigma version 5.13, waiting for review. Finalizing draft PR towards modularization of Sigma with the goal of separating all serializers from Ergo Tree Interpreter. This will minimize the size of Sigma data.js module. For Ergo, he's upgraded Ergo node to the latest Sigma branch to be merged into version 5.0.16. Next up, release the next version of AppKit with the latest Sigma and finish modularization of Sigma.
All right, next it looks like we have C8 putting together a P2P marketplace, which is awesome. Looks like the GitHub link has been dropped. The demo is out on Twitter. Features ready to deploy. Best practice footer with open source socials and KYA. Wallet interaction, simple contract that supports a dev fee and multiple tokens at once. Ability to adjust and compile contract and simple branding. Looks like it's called Ergo Bay. That's awesome. I guess it looks like kind of Pirate Bay-ish.
Pirate Bay does, doesn't it?
Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to buy weed with Erg, Go back to Bitcoin's roots for many people. With bitmasks, still grinding at little visual bugs in trillions of combinations. So you have 2 bitmasks, QX?
I do. I have one in my main wallet, and then I still have, I think, the base one somewhere else. Yep, I have the ones that were the red ones, right? Aren't there two kind of series of or 3 series of bitmasks? They're like cartoony bitmasks, and then they're like the devil kind of.
Yeah, there was an iteration after that. I have one, Lonely.
The red and black ones.
No, the original cartoony one.
Oh wow, okay.
Way back when.
Could you breed those? Were those breedable?
I think they're breedable, but I was flying solo, so. Thing.
We don't want to talk about self-breeding there, Joe.
Yeah, poor thing.
Poor little guy. We got Kushti here with Ergo Protocol R&D. He reviewed GitHub on the Ergo Protocol, slowly testing version 5.15. Made a plan along with short writing for a hackathon project, which will be sidechain related. And I just saw in the Ergo hackathon chat that who was it? Soy? Is that how you pronounce it? Soyzar is gonna jump off his own project and move towards with Kushti on this sidechain project. So that'll be pretty neat.
Yeah, definitely.
Dexy made tests for swaps with Spectrum proxy contracts, and can we just stop and say that holy shit, the Gold Oracle token went for 4,750 erg. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty
Well,
nuts.
if the Oracle operator there is gonna keep the Oracle live long term, there's some return on investment potential there.
That is pretty cool, and that's just
It's a
one of
long,
the.
it's a
What's
long
that?
term. That's a long term commitment.
Yeah,
You know.
we did the math. I think it was at current prices, if you get minimum reward, which is one gort per hour, and if the liquidity pool stays exactly where it is, and it's able to be the buyback contract is able to sustain the liquidity pool with people cashing out however often they want to cash out their reward tokens. If it sustains, I think it's six months before it's paid off. I mean, that's not a bad investment if everything
Not a
holds up.
terrible. Yeah, that's not a terrible investment given the assumptions.
Yeah. I mean, there's some assumptions there. We don't know how popular Dexy is going to be, so that'll affect how the buyback contract is. Yeah, and so far, in the Gort chat, what's it called? So the way that the Oracle works, that they've set it up is, I hope we have time. We have time for this, don't we? People
Yeah,
might want to hear this.
it's
So
a
the way that
development of yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So the way Gort works is you run the oracles, and the idea is to get the price of the commodity that you're running the oracle on, and insert it into the blockchain. Okay, so that it can be read and reported on and used as a price indicator. So what it does, if right now there are 15 of us running it, and everybody dumps it in at the same time, and whoever wins the block gets it included and gets a bonus, and the bonus is equivalent to how many of our operators are in the pool. So right now there's 15, so the bonus is 15 gorts, and people who don't win that block get just one gort. So minimum, if you do not win any blocks when you're reporting, you get one gort. But if you win some blocks during the day, you could get 30, 45, 90, you could get a bunch of gorts. So it was built to be kind of competitive, because what happens, Joe, when the blockchain gets congested and none of these Oracle operators can get their tokens into a block, right? You're going to miss Oracle data point. So
Mhm.
the devs here that were making this said, okay, let's make some competition so that in order to get people in there, let's give them some incentive to raise their transaction fee so that they'll front run everybody and get into the block. So there's kind of reward for that. That's the extra reward. So far, I think I've gotten seven. Seven. I've won seven. So the rest are just basic rewards. There's a leaderboard. Somebody's got 99 so far, and there are a bunch of tricks people are doing to make apparently the size of the TX matters as well. Will be picked up first. So if in my node wallet that I'm using, I have about 10 ergs in there for transaction fees in a box. So that's a
Mhm.
chunky transaction to make that change. People are dusting their wallets on purpose so that there's just enough for the TX fee and that's it. So it's a much smaller transaction size to do, and they tend to get picked up first. So there's a bunch of little tricks that people are doing to do that. We've kind of made we call it communism. We've made an agreement to keep the TX fee the same for now, so that we're not just beating each other dead, going up to like half an erg for a transaction fee just to win those 15 gorts every hour kind of thing. It can get pretty ruthless if there's no reason to do it right now, because there's no congestion. So that's fun. We'll see what happens. There's talk about Boris is talking about making some consortium where everybody extracts their Gort tokens to a community wallet, and then that distributes evenly at the end of the day to everybody. But some of us are like, well, who knows who we're going to sell this to at an auction house for the next 5 tokens? It could be somebody that never even enters a chat and is just like, fuck it, I'm gonna run a half erg TX fee to get it picked up and win all the Gorts every single time, kind of thing. So
That's true. It's always hard to have some collective agreement in an open ecosystem like that, right? At the end of the day, it's peer to peer is sometimes peer versus peer.
yeah, and honestly, I'm okay, and I think a lot of people will be okay with the rewards are getting for simply running an Oracle operator, the minimum rewards. So the people who do care, will play the game and spike it up and you know use their time and interest to do that. So whatever, that's what it's there for. All right, we also have ChainCash still working on double redemption and double spending paths and redemption contract for level 2 ChainCash hardest paths. Code for us is working on getting Dexy LP backend with Spectrum frontend. First few test transactions done via backend. And other stuff, reviewed auction coin contracts, now reviewing Rosen and another BTC contracts. Auction coin, did you read that article, Joe?
I didn't yet. I read the one that MHS dropped, but I haven't read Ain't on Reels yet.
I can't even remember. I'm drawing a blank. It was a cool concept though. It was a bit of degen finance again.
I believe it might be related to Dutch auctions, but I'd have to dive
How's
into it.
that? What's that work? How's that work?
A Dutch auction is usually where you have a starting price and the price actually goes down until people bid. Versus traditionally you have an auction with a starting price and then people compete against each other. So it's kind of a
Okay, so the last person it's interesting. So that gets it lower, huh?
But I'd have to dive into it. I haven't had time yet.
Okay, interesting.
But
All right,
one of those on the list.
we got haileypdll right here.
All right, so it looks like he started to make Ergo CLI with Node.js to try Fleet SDK and learn TypeScript. Some of the ideas of the project: it is usable from a script, but it can be used interactively. It supports mainnet and testnet. Tries to get 100% test coverage. About the features: new wallet, restore wallet, show balance, sign transactions, send erg, send tokens, mint tokens. Display a box, information for a token, the current height from the node. Compile Ergo script using Fleet or the node. Probably a few more to come. It has no name yet, so everybody that's excited about naming things, Haley's got a baby that has no name, so please send some suggestions. There's still some work before the first version can be shown, so luckily people out there that want to participate in the naming process have some time to think.
It's fun to be at the ground level there to experience that kind of stuff. Really cool. Even if you're not participating in naming it, it's just fun to see that kind of stuff flying by in the chats and all that. All right, we got Nautilus team update. Fleet SDK, GraphQL client packages done and waiting for review. Docs revisiting the transaction building guide to describe some edge cases such as forcing input inclusion, custom selection strategies, and so on. Ergomatic made a start on plugins documentation and through the MD file there. Researching on different low latency Explorer setups and preparing a write-up on it. Oh, interesting. Joe, do you know if is there still talk about kind of stepping away from Explorer and going to a more robust index node that can be used instead of Explorer, instead of more heavier Explorer?
Yeah, there's a couple of things that are happening in parallel. One is this idea of indexing on the node. Another is UExplorer, which has kind of been a work in progress for a while. And it looks like Nemo is going to be proposing an alternative. So one of those dependencies that, I would say, when I started making these videos anyway, the first core piece of infrastructure that we really needed to make more redundant was wallets. Right, our wallet infrastructure was pretty concentrated. Then after that, I would say the Explorer is something that we need to continually kind of improve. Creating low latency ideas, lighter setups. That way, people can host their own infrastructure. Right. Well, you can certainly look at the progress that the node has gone through, where
Yeah.
back when it was run a jar, right? To the light and efficient NevoPal client that we have now. So seeing that improvement across kind of core infrastructure in the ecosystem is quite exciting.
Is that another update from Kushti?
It looks like the raffle was successful. There are prizes at the upcoming ErgoHack. So he's basically dropping a couple of kind of bounty slash prizes. One of which is adding Ergo into Trust Wallet's wallet core engine, which is C and C++. Blockly based visual editor for ErgoScript, which kind of allows people to kind of, I don't know, it's a pretty neat coding tool. I don't know if you've ever played with Blockly. But it's kind of a, it reminds me
Visual
more of,
object based oriented kind of
yeah,
coding.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of unique in terms of how you can see what you're building. It's more visual. Next is the ErgoScript language server protocol. Um, the other is MetaMask integration, which is using recently announced MetaMask snaps, which can, is something that I know that the Nautilus teams looked into. And one that's not even there actually. I had set a bounty a while ago for anyone to build an open source package for a solo miner, right? To where they could spin up their own node and stratum, with as few clicks as possible. And it looks like I have somebody that's pursuing that actively. So hopefully that's something we can drop once it's complete, and you kind of get a Citergo type setup with Stratum.
Is it Aberg? Are you allowed to say who's working on
I'm not allowed to say who's working on it,
it? All right, cool.
but
So,
yeah, every once in a while we put out bounties out there, and you know people pick them up and chase them.
very
You
cool.
can look at like the difficulty adjustment proposal for a new algorithm that's kind of been out there for a while. And I would even be interested to see like Autolicos 3, just have that on the shelf in case there's ever any uh, issue with it. Start showing up with specialized hardware. That way, we have a plan in place to propose to the miners.
So does that require that? What kind of fork does that require to adjust
Both
the
of both
actual?
of both of those would require a hard fork, but it's one of those things where it's emergency planning. I don't think it's something that you need to necessarily force into the network, but certainly, it's an attack vector that we need to be aware of.
All right, we've got Luivatra with Paideia. Oh, he's going to kill me. Improvement. Chain transactions are now supported. This means you could add stake multiple times, create a proposal, and submit votes all in the same block. That's pretty damn cool. Bug fix. Couldn't change or remove an image on the upload image dialog. More bug fixes. Proposal description. Text wasn't formatting. Posting a comment no longer returns a JSON error. Changing addresses was causing an error that is now fixed. Like, dislike button are now working from within proposals, and he created votes endpoint for listing votes cast on proposal. He says a huge thank you to all the beta testers who are submitting GitHub issues. This has helped us a ton with keeping things organized. And I just saw an announcement from Alexis that they're going to be asking more for more beta people today, which is Friday. So
Mm.
if you're watching this Sunday, hopefully you saw Alexis's announcement. We've also added Paideia token bounties to many of the issues still outstanding. If you have some experience with React and TypeScript, jump onto GitHub and complete some of the issues. Many of them are simple fixes that shouldn't take more than 10 minutes once you have the dev environment set up.
Did you play around with Paideia Beta?
I did. I messed around for a little bit. I went in there and read some proposals, connected my wallet, grabbed the beta or test tokens, but I actually didn't vote on anything. I got stopped short of that. But next time.
Yeah,
You've been playing on it?
I pinged Luivatra and he said, "Sir, there's the Windies." I is one of the people that did not go to GitHub, unfortunately. Let's learn.
Oh boy, he's funny. All right, what's next?
All right, it looks like
wow.
with Ilya, we have a pilot version of Spectrum Vault and ErgoScript based on Spectrum's threshold signature protocol, working on white paper improvements.
Did I see something about they made some progress on their cross chain? Some sort of thing with their cross chain they just made some progress on recently. I swear I just read it in chat. I could have dreamt it in the last hour when I was taking a nap. Who knows? Let's see. We've got Analog Ergo by Deathgripson. Working on self-hosted client UI. Created an Ubuntu build script for the Atomic Swap API. Created account importing functions, API setup functions tested on another system. Importing accounts from existing wallets. If anyone's interested in testing or development for the hackathon or just in general, please join the Discord. So they've got a Discord up. Nice. And you can tell I have not joined it. Damn it. Bad.
Better join it now.
I better.
Give them the live experience. Right?
Let's see. It's going to mess up my entire Windows screen. Oh,
We're
now we're screwed. I just rugged myself. Oh, now look at this. We're going to have to find where we were, Joe. Shit.
Well, we just showed everybody how it's done, so please join.
Yes, yes. Oh, it's not that far back. Okay, perfect. Oh, this is what happens when we do a dev update one day later instead of 4 days after Wednesday Joe on a Saturday night, 3 hours before Andy's got to post it.
Boy.
All right, here we go. Back here. What else do we have?
Looks like we have MG Pi up top.
Oh, we missed MG?
Maybe not. Never mind. He's asking a question.
He's asking for help. Yeah, yeah. He's throwing out that net pretty wide there. Damn.
Let's see, Marty, with an ErgoPad update. New feature, sign in with Nautilus, mobile auth, or OAuth provider. Auth is handled with NextAuth. Users can now view multiple wallets on dashboard, staking page, etc., and can add or remove stake and redeem multiple wallets without having to log in, log out. New feature, add other wallets to your account. Bug fix, fixed an issue where cold wallets could be used to create accounts, but then couldn't be used to log in. This bug happened because mobile wallet sends the source URL in the signed message for normal wallets, but not cold wallets. I was verifying the source URL in auth flow, turned off the verification for now. Bug fixed when creating an OAuth account. If you didn't add a wallet, you couldn't log out. UI improved the wording in the new users dropdown when signing in. New feature is a work in progress, adding a new user settings page. Functionality will be added later, including the ability to delete your account, check your whitelist status, and complete your user profile. Planned features to allow users to give wallets unique names. Add support for Ledger and Safe Wallet. They will not be able to be used to sign into an account, but can be used to stake, contribute, and redeem vested tokens. And add Google Authenticator support for OAuth accounts. Shout out to all the devs who helped me figure this out in Sigma Boolean so the mobile wallet would work.
Very cool.
Awesome.
How do you call it Safe Wallet? I always fuck up and just say Safe Wallet. Safe Wallet.
Maybe you're right. To be honest, I don't think I've ever seen or heard from Haley, so I just make it up as I go, right?
Yeah. I think that's it, Joe. That was a nice quick dev update, maybe?
You should check Anon 2020S is back.
Oh, yeah. Let's look at that. Right here. Anon 2020 says something's brewing. Guess what? So a couple of us guessed, and Nemo 429. Is that Captain Nemo's? Nemo 429. So Nemo guessed correctly. I'm guessing it was an inside job right there. Nemo must have known. But Anon sent a transaction, and essentially it was a wallet dropping some tokens into a smart contract, which then in turn dropped tokens back into that original wallet, but with less tokens, and the extra tokens that I'm sure were designated when they dumped them into the smart contract were sent to another wallet. So that's how stealth addresses work. It derives a one-time use address from your key that gives you access to it, and it's essentially just funds pop into an address, out of thin air, essentially. So yeah, it's pretty neat. Or from the smart contract, but that wallet's a
Yeah,
new, fresh wallet, not linked to
little
anything else.
privacy feature that
Yeah,
is being developed on the Ergo blockchain, which is really nice to see.
yeah, yep. I had a guess here that was utterly wrong. I thought it would be cool though. I
Well,
was
yeah, it's one
I
of
was
those things.
thinking,
I,
what?
I hope I hope one of these days it would be pretty damn cool to see stealth address support um, set up somehow in wallets.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
That
Um,
way you can kind of go gray whenever you need.
you sure can. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Is that something that is Annan an Ergo hack? I can't remember if he's in there or them
Uh,
or they.
Anon 2020S is a kind of a creature that will surfaces from time to time. Um, I do know that that's something that Nemo has been looking at and working at for a while, and I believe the two are kind of collaborating, but I don't have the full scoop there. So,
Very
those of
cool.
you that don't know, Anon 2020S is the original developer of the Ergo mixer. So, whenever you see privacy stuff, that tends to, uh, let's say, have Anon 2020S in proximity.
Yep. Um, well, what else do we have, Joe? Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I'm pretty excited for ErgoHack. By the time this drops, it'll be pretty well underway. There's gonna be a lot of videos I hear coming out around ErgoHack, which is exciting to see.
Well, I hope we can
Uh,
get some devs to get on film. That's for damn sure.
that's actually one of the things I like the most about the ErgoHacks and the summits is all the videos that I'm in, I never watch. So
So,
it's kind of a treat when I'm not on like an AMA or in a video because then I can actually enjoy the Ergo content.
yeah, exactly. So I interviewed earlier in the week. I interviewed Tim Erg for a HODL box, and I don't want to
Nice.
give that away, but that's a fun little project. And the idea in that we're talking through the interview. It's just a quick 10-minute interview. You'll probably see it Saturday or Sunday.
Awesome.
But he was explaining it as in his reasoning for it, and he said, "Look, how if you had Bitcoin back in the 2013 whatever, and you bought a ton of it, and all of a sudden it spiked to $300, you probably would have fucking sold it all. Most people would be like, holy shit, this is as high as it's ever gonna go. This cryptocurrency thing, I'm selling it." So HODLBox is pretty funny in that it forces you. It's essentially a paper hands babysitter. So you dump your you put your
Paper paper.
you dump your tokens in there, and it holds them there for 2 years, locked in a contract, or until ERG gets to $20. So it's pretty neat. So it forces you to not sell at 10, not sell at 15. You get to pull it out at 20, or 2 years if ERG doesn't get to $20 in 2 years.
The diamond hand holder. Nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty neat. And then I interviewed Dan Rugme. I was going to interview all of Zengate because Zengate's, a real good, real case scenario of real world adoption and integrating the blockchain into the real world. So that was going to be a little thing. But Dan's very busy this week. So he lent me his two devs, MGPie and LGD. So I got those guys on camera for a little bit talking about Zengate and how they worked with the tokenizing commodities. It's pretty interesting what they're doing. They're really keeping it out of view of the user completely, with options. Yeah, with options to be able to still peer into the chain and see everything that's happening. And then we moved into another segment about their project for ErgoHack, which is a ticketing-based system for venues. They're going to bundle it in with their Lilium product, but that's also pretty cool. And similar to like Zengate, they're also trying to cloak the blockchain usage somewhat for the user initially, and then they'll give more what's it called, access to your own wallets and that kind of thing
That's
after
awesome.
that, if you like. But yeah, their idea is that they want to capture a lot of the resale value back to the artist. So if you buy a venue ticket, Joe, and you can't
Mhm.
go and you want to sell it to me, right now people just scalp the shit out of it, and all that money goes to the
Yeah.
scalper. Well, in this case, all the tickets are going to exist inside a smart contract. And even though you own the ticket, Joe, your private address can spend that ticket to somebody else. Can spend that box with a ticket to somebody else only if you have a certain percentage of your output fee, your output that you're sending to the other person. That's coming to you with a percentage going back to the artist. So it's a
Oh, that's
forced kind
awesome.
of royalty metric, which is pretty damn cool.
That's
So,
that's
so, so that'll be nice to see. Yeah, they only have. I just learned this yesterday, and I've been spouting off that it's 2 weeks. There's only 3 days for this hackathon, right?
this is a short one.
Short one.
Um, it usually takes me a while to dig through the projects.
Oh shit, Joe! It's gonna be like 5 months until you have your vote in for
No, come
judging.
on, come on now. Last time I was the second to last.
Oh shit! All right. Well, I'm gonna judge too. So I recused myself for a brief second because I thought I was gonna enter with cheese. But Cheese is focusing on some other stuff right now, and for the so we were not going to enter at all, and I jumped back on the panel. So
Oh, it's
so
good to have a
I'll
fellow judge then.
I'll try to beat you out of the gate, Joe.
It's not the time, it's the quality.
Oh boy! All right, what do you want to close it with, Joe?
Well, I actually, you know, I'm pretty happy with how the community took over after the Ergo drama that I created. It's nice to see mature solutions come into place. Um, it's one of those things where I kind of rug the handle, rug the marketing team, rug the community. But then everybody came in and cleaned up, and I think we're better off long term for it. So that's
Yeah,
nice to that's nice
A-
to see.
that is. Angie wrote me. I think the next morning is like, what happened?
Yeah, that was not planned. I had nobody's permission. I simply acted solo rogue because I finally got the keys to the account, and yeah, I wanted to make a change.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to what's going on up next. I mean, I think it's going to be great to have this mixed voice and this community-owned account. And although Twitter is federated, hopefully we
Mhm.
can find some sort of solution to, I don't know, to safeguard the account at least the best we can with a couple people owning it at once, trusted members, and go from there. I mean, it sucks that it's federated. It'd be nice if there was some sort of multi-signature trust verification.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't even created something as simple as like having multiple Google authenticators that
Um,
need to be, uh, you know,
Before
submitted.
handles moved or something,
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
I mean, it's actually not that hard of an engineering
Hmm.
problem. It's not addressed. But anyway, I probably won't be given access, so I shouldn't really care anyway, right? I
Maybe we'll give
somehow
you maybe we'll give you TweetDeck access, Joe.
read deck access. I'll get the B team access.
Oh, speaking of
I'll
that,
do,
we have if any of you are following the parody account, there's a Sigma Knots account, then there's a parody account, Sigma Knots, NAUGHTS. And one of our Sigma Knot members is now doing. He started the Sigma Knots before even this transition came, and the original, the legitimate Sigma Knots account, he got access to 2 days ago. So he's been doing kind of legit posts and then parody posts, but today he fucked up. And he started doing parody posts under the real Sigma Knots account.
and that is why I was never granted TweetDeck access to the original account
Oh God. Oh,
because
fucking Joe.
yeah, I don't think I had that level of trust to not realize I was logged into the wrong account and start shit or something. So
Oh boy.
I understand. I understand.
It's times like these that make you, realize why you can't take life too seriously, Joe.
No, no, you can't. And the truth of the matter is, it's a lot of times Twitter is, I don't know, a lot of noise there. All right. Um, but that's popular for now until, everybody needs a blue check mark. And then I'm on the B team again.
Yep.
Unverified.
Shit. All right, Joe. Well, thanks for having me host with you again. That was fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you showing up to do these. Hope everybody out there enjoyed the weekly developer update. In my opinion, if there's any social chat that's kind of the heart of Ergo, it's the development channel, and that's why I've always tried to write articles and make videos about it.
Right on, sir. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good one.